Well, it's time to upgrade the tire size on the FJ. Currently running a 285 7017, which is basically everyone calls it a 33. We'll just go with that. Very common size, but I'm going to 35s. Oh, here they are. So looks like, oh, they get them shipped here. Okay, so looks like lug nuts are in here. I'll go ahead and open this up. Looks like all the nuts are in here with the adapter. So cool. All right, well, I went with the Method 319s. I wanted the, what is it, the 7 series, I think, that has the bead lock or the bead grip in it. I wanted those, but I just couldn't do it, man. Financially, I guess I'm too cheap. But these were on sale for like, I think 198 or something like that a wheel. So I couldn't pass that up for some methods. So I should weigh them to see if they're lighter than my other ones. I bet you they are. But the tires is the big thing here. So I got the 35 by 1150 on 17s. The reason I went this way is because it's a 35-inch tire, but it's only 11.5 inches wide, which is the same as my 285 7017s that I had on here. So I should get 2 inches of height on the tire, you know, of course, overall. So 1 inch, you know, taller, and then 1 inch on the top or whatever. But anyway, a 2-inch bigger tire, but the same width. And so that was the idea, to get 35s. I didn't want to get too wide. I feel like you get too wide and then you start running into problems, churning and stuff like that, rubbing. So we'll see. Hopefully my plan works out here. The other problem, or the other thing is I got a 0 offset. My previous ones were a -6, so in theory that should bring them in a little bit, and so it wouldn't be hitting the body mount chop in the front. So we will see. But yeah, I'm liking, they look great. Let's see, let's finish putting them on, and then we'll take it for a spin and see if they rub, and at least doing some mall crawling, I'm sure they'll rub off-road. The 35s, and it is not going to clear the bumper anymore. It just barely clears now, so I could open it up and close it. I could even open and close my glass too. Now I've seen some people not be able to do this, and I couldn't do it before with the different set of wheels I had, but I went with this offset, so it kind of spaced it out a little bit. But anyway, so I needed a spacer. There's different spacers they make that will give you the space needed. So you could just put a little spacer like you have on your hubs. Sometimes you put a spacer on there for like stock wheels and stuff like that to get it poke out a little bit. And then there's other ones that go in between the mount here. They're kind of either, I've seen people even put washers on there, but they have some that are kind of angled to kind of give it an angle to where it kind of kicks out the back a little bit. Some people flip their stock mounts. I don't know how you would do it with the one with the camera in it. And speaking of that, luckily I kept my old one because I'm worried about this. So currently, another video will do it, but I'm gonna move the backup camera. I put a backup camera here. Mine's a 07, so it didn't come with one. I hate that. So I'm gonna be moving it here. So I bought a whole new tire carrier from, you know, like a Toyota, basically, like it's a stock one off a newer FJ. And then I'll put the camera here. So I like that because it kind of puts it a little bit past the wheel. because it's going to be here rather than back there against the hub sort. So anyway, there's a couple different ways to do this, but the way I went with is I got this Westcott Designs, and I like it because it comes with the camera mount. But we're gonna have to pull that tire off to see. But what I'm thinking is it might not work with my tire carrier because I don't, unless it fits inside this hole, which it's not gonna do. I can already tell you that. It's a lot smaller. So I'm not sure if you're supposed to, well, let's pull that tire off, but I'm not sure if you're supposed to grind off those welds and then, but I already have another tire carrier. But let's get this tire off. Well, I wish I would have thought about this before I bought this. So I bought this maybe, I don't know, a couple months ago. It wasn't that long. And put it on because I want to put the camera there. I like the way the camera setup is here, like I said, rather than mounting it, you know, 4 inches back, 5 inches back here. So, and to put this Westcott Designs spacer on for a 35, I would have to grind these off and then just take this off. But I have the original one of these that came with my 2007 FJ. So I'm gonna put that one back on, and then maybe I can sell this one. And then I can put this, mount this to it. So let's go ahead and get this whole mount back off again. Now, if I was smart, I'd probably leave this off and then find out and drill my hole for my camera and put my grommet and probably do my camera first, but yeah, we'll come back to that. I'll go ahead and put it back on. I'll put it on and pull it back off again. It's not that bad. A little bit rougher looking, but probably just gonna put it on for now. Maybe when I do the camera, I'll throw a little bit of paint on it. I don't really want to mess with that right now, but I'm just curious if I flip this. See if I can do this one-handed. I can't. I'm just curious if we flip this, what this does, because I think this, like I said, creates that angle that they're talking about. So let's see. I can see how they do that. I don't know if that wiper arm on mine is hitting over there, so I don't know if you'd have to notch that a little bit or something, but that doesn't seem right. But yeah, I can see how that could work. Definitely kind of puts your back tire at an angle. So yeah, it doesn't even fit over that, so I'm gonna probably have to grind it anyway, but at least I'm grinding my old one. Regardless if you have a newer style or an older style, you're still gonna have to grind this thing off. So I think it's just like 3 welds, so 1, 2 there, and then maybe 1 on the inside or something. I don't know, maybe I gotta pull it off and paint it after all, huh? So let me go ahead and pull it back off, and I'll grind these off. Let's see if there's 1 on the inside for the top there. Almost forgot to show you. So went ahead and ground off this little center piece. Let me go grab it real quick. Rather than grinding off these here, we started the grind here, but it looks like it's attached to the part that has the lug nuts or the lug studs here. So, and it would just push the whole assembly back out, the whole ring and the back side. So all of that would have came out, it looks like. So don't want to do that. So just ground this little guy here. So that's the old style one. I'm not sure what you do on the new style one. I guess it's probably the same. It's just these 3 welds here. I think it's so similar. But anyway, gonna put this on here. All right, and then I'm gonna use these nuts and washers that they gave me, and I'm gonna put them on this side here. The washer will work on the bottom one, but it doesn't have enough room here on either top one. So thinking about pulling that washer off and then just doing just a nut. There's really not a whole lot of room here between the studs and this. So now my next concern is these studs seem a little longer than like the stock ones were. So I just worry about these capped off nuts kind of bottoming out. So we'll see. We might have to go find some open-ended lug nuts here. It's getting pretty far down there. Maybe I'm all right. We'll see. Now, the fun part of trying to lift that big ass wheel and tire up here and setting it up on here. Dang, that thing's big on there. So like I thought, the 1150, it's out here pretty far. So I almost feel like it probably would look better if it was kind of angled with the vehicle, but I bet you I can open the glass and definitely clears the bumper, stock bumper. Let's see if it'll clear the glass here. And moment of truth. Yeah, I gotta lube that thing. But yeah, she just barely clears. Pretty good gaps actually. Not barely, it's quite a bit. Cool. I just gotta put the camera in there and pull it back off. Oh, nope, they are not. They're too short. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get some new nuts. They are bottomed out, so either that or throw some kind of washers or something on there, but I don't know if that'll work. I'll probably go find me some different nuts. All right, I just picked up some open-ended nuts for now. I might get some longer ones. Make it easier to get, because I have to make sure your socket fits inside this to get them. Also kind of want to put a locking on here too, so do that in a little bit. This is just for a couple days or whatever to get me by. But yeah, it's secured now. You can shake it and it doesn't move. Yeah, quite a bit of spacing here. Looks a little awkward, I think, just because it's new to me, but see if I can get this to, there we go. So a little close there, but it's definitely not hitting. But here's an angle. So like I said, it just looks different to me. I think I'll get used to it. If it was, I'm sure if it was any closer, then we wouldn't be able to open our window and stuff. So, and it clears the door. If you had, you know, a wider tire or something, it would be back here a little further, but so anyway, there's the old FJ with the 35's on it.